Hello, I am Professor Jambunathan speaking. In this video, we will analyze why coronaviruses of the Chinese origin or the British origin remain indestructible or unconquerable till now. Probably this might be due to the blood-air barrier or the blood-lungs barrier, which doesn't allow the medicines or the vaccines or even the immune cells to enter the lungs and destroy the accumulated viruses. To understand the problem of blood-lungs barrier or the blood-air barrier being the culprit in the corona pandemic, we have to understand the structure and the function of the lungs very clearly. Everyone knows that COVID-19 or COVID-20 is caused by the lung infection. The lung is infected by the viruses. All right, we know that lungs are the most important organ of the human body. It has got a great function of purifying the blood. And the purification of the blood is a very simple process of taking away the carbon dioxide from the impure blood and supplying that with oxygen is called the purification process. And the lungs does this purification process of supplying oxygen to the impure blood and taking away the carbon dioxide from that, And this is not a very simple process, as we say now. It's a very complicated process. For this, we have to understand the structure of the lungs. The lungs and the windpipe and the nose, all of them can be called as the respiratory system. And the lungs, are not like vessels, are not like some kind of utensils that we make use of. The lungs are made up of air sacs or air bags, very tiny air bags, tiny air sacs called alveoli. There are about 600 million alveoli in both the lungs, left lung and the right lung. And every alveolus, singular alveolus, plural alveoli, every single alveolus cannot be seen by the human eye. It has to be seen through the microscope only. And only in this alveolus or the airbag or the air sac, the air exchange, that is the carbon dioxide from the impure blood is taken out and the oxygen is supplied. The carbon dioxide is in the blood, which is circulating in the blood capillaries, and the oxygen is in the alveolus. The oxygen comes into every alveolus of 600 million alveoli through breathing. And for this purpose, the lungs are always contracting and expanding. Only then, when the lungs expand, that is all the 600 million alveoli expand, outer air comes through the nose and fills all the alveoli. And when the lungs contract, all the alveoli send out the carbon dioxide, impure air, It's a very complex process. And in the alveoli, 600 million alveoli, there must be only the air exchange. So every alveolus is to be clean, dry and warm all the time. Only then the contraction and the expansion process can go on. This contraction and the expansion This is called, we call it as breathing. And we breathe for about 24,000 times every day, all through the day and night, during the waking moments or during the sleep. And this respiratory system, especially the contraction and the expansion, that is controlled by the medulla oblongata. And we said that the blood goes, impure blood goes in the capillary, and air is in the alveolus. And the alveolus should always be clean, dry, as we already saw that. So there is an arrangement, there is a barrier between every alveolus and the blood capillary surrounding that. And that membrane allows only gases. And through that, oxygen from the alveolus goes into the capillary, and the carbon dioxide in the blood in the capillary goes into the alveolus. And this is called the permeation process. The only gases can permeate through this blood-air barrier. And now you see how the whole respiratory system, you can see the alveolus, millions of them, 600 millions of them, how they come in, and both the lungs are connected to the nose through the windpipe. So there is only one windpipe which branches into two, connecting the two lungs, each containing about 300 million alveolus. And every alveolus is microscopic. We cannot see that through the normal eye. Alright, So now you can understand. It is a very complex process, And blood or anything, medications, even the vaccines, even the cells, immune cells cannot go into the alveoli, 600 million alveoli. But the viruses can have a free access through the barrier from the alveolus. So the viruses come into the 600 million alveoli when we breathe in, We cannot avoid that by any means. And somehow, because the viruses are as small as the gas molecules or gas atoms, so the viruses can easily get into the lungs along with the air molecules. And because they are as tiny as air molecules, they can get into the bloodstream, and from there it can go into the heart, and it can circulate all over the body. Sometimes it can reach the brain also. So now you see that, we have to send in something, not vaccines or medicines or immune cells or anything, Something in the form of air. Only that alone can arrest the replication or the viruses, and that alone can kill all the viruses, send them out. Otherwise, all the 600 million alveoli will be filled with viruses, and the viruses will puncture this blood-air barrier, and blood will get into that, liquid fluid will get into the alveoli, and the alveoli cannot do the air exchange, and slowly that develops into pneumonia. Pneumonia, is a killer fever, and that is why corona patients, when the corona becomes COVID-19 or COVID-20, when it becomes very serious, all the 600 million alveoli, they get filled up with the serum, with the fluid, liquid, etc. And that's why it causes breathlessness, leading to death. So we have to send into the 600 million alveoli something in the form of air, gas. So only evaporating medicines, not the present day vaccines or the medicines which are blood based, which are sent into the blood, they can never reach the 600 million alveoli. So we have to use evaporating medications. Such medications have already been discovered, have already been developed in USA 130 years back. We have to understand, and the evaporating medications only can treat corona, can make the lungs clean, dry, and warm again, to do the function of gas exchange and the purification process very easily. So in the next part of this video, we will talk about the evaporating medications. That is, the medications which turn into air, which can easily get into the 600 million alveoli and destroy the viruses there. So thank you very much, and I leave for the present. Again, we will meet in another video.